Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Noah Nelson, the Director of Media Relations for the university, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to this announcement of our new athletic director, something people have been waiting for a long time. He will be introduced by University President Dr. Dan Jones, and after that he will take your questions after he makes a few comments, and stick around a bit afterward and get to meet you. But right now, Dr. Jones.
Thank you, Noah, and thank you all for being here on this very important day for Lion Athletics. It is the beginning of the next era of greatness for the entire Lion Athletic program. I first would like to begin by thanking the members of our search committee. The members of the search committee, would you all raise your hands right up here in front? Give these folks a round of applause. I've been pistol whipping them for the last 8 weeks to get this search going. I made a commitment to have a new AD hired and on the ground by October 1st, and my God, look at the day. So they've done a tremendous job. We had a nationwide search. We had a pool of 36 extraordinarily highly qualified applicants. This is a very attractive position in collegiate athletics. Our successful candidate, whom you'll meet in just a moment, has more than 19 years of successful philanthropic experience in capital campaigns related to athletics and more than 26 years total experience in athletic administration. He has a wealth of experience in revenue generation, media relations, brand strategy and engagement, and marketing. He has demonstrated leadership in strategic planning and business operations. And he is a leader also in compliance education. This is something that a lot of places take for granted at their peril. So he has a very strong background in compliance and a commitment to that very important part of athletic operations. And of course, tremendous leadership skills. He has a long resume. You'll have copies of this. I'm not going to go through all of the places he's been, but he does have a master's in business administration from Ohio University. He is a graduate of Lamar University. He and I were chatting a little bit. He was actually born and raised in Lamar, and I spent formative years there, so we actually have some memories to share. Since 2012, he's been the CEO as well as the founder of Rainmakers 123, an athletic consulting firm that does strategic planning and leadership training. He's been at University of Maryland, SMU, Northern Illinois, Texas State, and started his career at his alma mater, Lamar University. He's very active in the community. His entire family is very active in the community. Highland Park United Methodist Church, YMCA, the American Cancer Society, just to name the few of the many organizations that they have been engaged in. He has demonstrated a very solid record of leadership in the profession of athletic administration. Past president of the National Association of Athletic Development Directors, Case Sports Conference program faculty member, NACDA Management Leadership Institute participant. Just an extraordinary record of achievement and leadership in these very important areas. Most important to me, he is absolutely 100% committed to the student athlete and the student athlete experience. That comes first. Winning is important. Coaches, remember, winning is important. But we're really here for the student athletes, and we're not successful until they are successful. So we are thrilled to welcome the newest member of the Pride, Mr. Tim McMurray, your new athletic director. Here you go.
We're going to have to make an adjustment here, Coach Brewster. I told you. Well, we're going to let it sit, and then I'm going to take it off for remarks. But yeah,
Here we go. Here's the photo op.
This is great. Yeah, thank you.
And lest I forget, we're joined by his lovely wife, Vicki. Thank you for being here as well.
Well, thank you. Before we get started, that hat that has a little joke. I told the coaches on my interview that Coach Brewster will have some easy ammo. I wear a size 8 fitted hat, So when the mound tarp gets here, my hat will be here for the spring. So thank you, Coach. Really just, as I was sitting there listening to Dr. Jones's introduction, I said, wow, they hired a great athletic director. I was like, whoa, he's talking about me. I got to step back a minute and pause. So very gracious to be here. First of all, I want to give thanks to the Lord. My faith and my family are my two most important pillars. And I want to give a great amount of gratitude to him for that. I also want to thank, I told our head coaches earlier this afternoon, I proved to them a little bit on first glance I can recruit too. My number one recruit, Vicky, I love you, thank you. Long journey, 5 different institutions, 6 now, and now we certainly feel like we're at home. We're certainly here to be owners, not renters, and look forward to the next step in the journey. Marley would love to be here today, and Maya, but they're both taking tests. One of them's a sophomore at Tarleton, boo, and the other one's a sophomore in high school in Dallas, and she would very much like it because the 6 weeks ends tomorrow, and she's got 2 tests, but they'll be here at the football game next weekend, and look forward to seeing everybody and getting them engaged, so be a lot of fun. Certainly want to thank Dr. Jones and Jelena. Looking forward to getting to know you guys better and for welcoming us and giving us this opportunity, and just we won't let you down, as I've already tried to reinforce to him several times. Alicia and the search committee, can't thank you guys enough. It's been great engaging with you and really appreciate it. One thing I really appreciate, I'm going to embarrass her a little bit and brag on her, but certainly appreciate 2 of our SAC leaders being right here in the front row, and Lucy and Taryn. And Taryn, enjoyed getting to know you during this. By happenstance, the day I arrived before my interview, Taryn was named to the National Division II Student Athlete Advisory Council. That's an exceptionally prestigious honor. Stand up. Let's celebrate. Let's celebrate our nationally recognized student athlete, because that's based on the 3 pillars that are going to be very important: our academic experience for our student athletes, our athletic experience, and our social and community engagement experience in preparing them for life. So Taryn, congratulations. Thank you for being here today. Can't thank our head coaches and athletic staff enough. You've been very engaging throughout the process. Appreciate your time earlier today. Met with those individual units. I think we've got a good plan to hit the ground running. We'll start with some strategic assessments very quickly and get going right away. I want to just very quickly share a few thoughts on why commerce. And I shared on Dr. Jones's radio interview a little bit earlier this afternoon. Higher education, to me, has always been a paradigm that it should be a pump, not a filter. It should be about opportunity for both students and student athletes. And that's what I think we're going to create here at Commerce and continue to create, because I also would be remiss if I didn't give a round of applause and thanks. I was on the phone with him for about 45 minutes yesterday. Really want to thank Ryan Ivey, Josh Jorgensen, and Judy Sackfield. So now you're meeting your 4th athletic director in the last 2 months. So, but I really want to thank them. Ryan blazed a trail here, and as I said, we're not having to, metaphorically, we're not having to build a track. We're taking the baton and running with it on a foundation that he has laid. So, Ryan, if you are tuning in at some point, really want to thank you, and your counsel and support's been nothing but meaningful to me. So, very, very excited. Back to that, here, getting to campus and in the paradigm of that being a pump, not a filter. When I got here, I could tell very quickly from the very, very engaging process and the 13-hour interview day that the committee put together, and there's this great experience that I had in getting to know the campus and doing a little homework on my own in advance of that. It's a place where athletics is celebrated, not just tolerated, and you don't have that everywhere. And this is really, really special, having various parts of campus, whether it's alumni, student affairs, financial aid, admissions, having met a lot of those different areas on the interview. I called Vicki before I could even get out of the city limits and tell her this is a place we need to be. And so I'm very excited that we agree on that paradigm, and happy to be here today. Having seen college athletics through 5 very different lenses at 5 very different institutions, I can tell you this: the numbers may change, the names on the jerseys may change, but we're about that best-in-class student-athlete experience. And we'll define that as coaches and administrative team and student-athlete advisory council going forward, what that means here, a best-in-class student-athlete experience, because that's not just going to be a paradigm shift on the interview and then not addressed again, because making it a shelf document means you didn't hire the right athletic director, and we're not going to do that. We're going to hit the ground running. We're going to assess what that best-in-class student-athlete experience is, and then we're going to address some of those things. And then the other part of that is for me to lead the efforts to provide opportunities and resources for both our senior administrative team, but certainly equally, if not more important, our head coaches, to go out and get done what they need to get done, because they're the ones that are the stewards. They're the ones that control a lot of different influences. And you know, when we recruit a young man or young woman to Texas A&M Commerce, they're going to know that they're going to get great care for 5 years, or hopefully less or more if needed. But we do have 6-year cohorts on degree progress, so I guess we'll allow for some different windows there. But the point is that we're going to provide those two things, so the opportunities and resources. And one thing I've talked to our staff a lot about, again, no matter where we are, and I'm going to talk to one thing I'm very, very excited about, and I want to thank Judy. I'm getting a chance, one of my first unofficial, on-the-job duties is coming back over Sunday night to speak to the student athletes. And it's kind of part of a kickoff with the Lion Leadership Academy, and I'm very excited that program's in place. That's something that, as Dr. Jones alluded to, very, very, very passionate and very important to me, because I think if, you know, obviously, and student athletes in the room, you've got to make your grades. You're here to get a degree. You're here to compete in your sport. You're here to hopefully have a great student athlete experience. But we've also got to get you ready for the real world. And hopefully this Leadership Academy is just one small step that we take in doing that. And so I'm very passionate about that. Looking forward to Sunday night. And I'll give the student athletes that have taken time out of their day to give them a little bit of a sneak preview of the theme. There's 4 things we control every day, no matter what our budget is, no matter what our legal issues might be, no matter what restrictions there may be that we have. We control our attitude, our effort, our focus, and our strategy. And that applies to classwork, that applies to how we prepare and game plan for our events, and it applies to really any aspect of life. So very, very excited about that. Just really quick, I also want to cover, because I realize I'm the only thing between the cookies and the drinks in the back, but I do want to cover, when Dr. Jones and I were wrapping up our initial visit on my interview, I asked him a year from now, let's fast forward in this process, and you know, what makes you give your new athletic director, if it's me, what makes you give him a fist bump? And he told me 5 things I've really taken to heart. Maintain instilling that culture of compliance that we've had challenges with in the past, and we're going to do that absolutely. Make sure we're maximizing resource acquisition efforts. Again, I want to thank Ryan for having started the Lions Athletics Club. Now we've got to take it to the next level, and I'm looking right at you, Blake Cooper, that we got some work to do there. So we will do that. We'll start active and strategic volunteer engagement, and then that way, when we grow the Lions Athletic Club, that's more resources we can put into recruiting and program operations and travel, and that directly, again, ties back to that best-in-class experience. So we'll grow the Lions Athletic Club. It's not if, it's when, and very, very excited to kick that off, and look forward to engaging all groups, including our current student athletes, our alumni, our campus partners in that process. The other thing he talked about was a strategic plan, and that really, really excites me, because having been very fortunate at many different schools to be involved in the strategic plan, either directly or indirectly as the editor or the point person on collecting data, or working specifically with coaches and sport administrators, or as a sport administrator. I look very forward to that, because everybody, including student athletes, alumni, community, anybody that has their blood in the bricks with the Lion logo will be engaged. And I'm very, very, sorry, again, I told myself I wasn't going to get emotional up here. I'm very humbled to be here, but want to make sure I get all my points across, so just bear with me for a second. We are excited to be here. The other thing that I think is very, very important that hit home with me is Dr. Jones asked that we continue to maintain and enhance collegial and strategic relationships on campus, and that's of paramount importance, with a background not only in, obviously, intercollegiate athletics, but also being a partner with university advancement, with student affairs, understanding some of the different roles and challenges there. I look forward to, I see some already familiar faces from campus partners in the room, and look forward to doing that. So again, without turning it into an Academy Award speech, very excited to be here, and there are some people I need to thank very quickly. from Lamar University, giving me my first kind of promotion when I was a 25-year-old SID that didn't really know what he was doing, as opposed to a 45-year-old AD that doesn't know what he's doing. Mike O'Brien, who's the current athletic director at Toledo, gave me my first big break and said, I think you'd really do well in external affairs, and moved me in and handed me the keys. I was, one person in charge of about 6 units, and that's what's really prepared me and got me excited about this opportunity, because the commerce administrative staff is much larger than we had at Lamar at the time, and that's what I had my training wheels on very early in my career, and look forward to passing down that professional development experience to our current team and coaches. At Texas State, and also at Lamar, Dean Billick, who came in after him. Dean involved me in one of my first opportunities to be involved in hiring basketball coaches and being sport administrator for those programs. And I've been now very, very fortunate to be involved in dozens of head coaching, assistant coaches, and senior staff searches from both the chair perspective, which Alicia, I know, is very happy that the chair of this search is done with her duties for the most part. And I know the time that it goes into, but I got that experience at Lamar, and it helped me get the next opportunity at Texas State. Forgive me for asking if from the volleyball team, are the Wacker twins here by chance? Are they here? Your grandfather hired me, God bless him, and was part of hiring him. Was part of hiring me at Texas State, and I remember the best description I've ever heard about Jim Wacker is on his worst days on cloud 7. So Jim and Lil mean the world to me. Look forward to seeing your grandmother again. I'm sure she is a very proud grandmother and likes to come to games. So look forward to seeing her and BJ soon. Also want to thank Gerald Hill, who is very good friends with Chancellor Sharp, and former vice president for advancement at Texas State, that hired me. I know he's hopefully watching today, or at least he'll be tuning in later if he can figure out how to get his laptop working. But Vic and I were very gracious. We actually got married at Gerald and Donna's home, and we're very close with them to this day. And Larry Tice, current athletic director, again handed me the keys to a lot of responsibility, and really, really want to thank him for that. Very quickly now, going through the rest of it, at Northern Illinois, Jim Phillips, he's the vice president and athletic director at Northwestern University. He's the chair of the Division I Council, which will shape a lot of things moving forward that will have trickle-down effect, not just at the Division I level, but how we function as a Division II and Division III, and where the competitive balance is going. And was on the phone for about 45 minutes with him this morning, and he's ecstatic. He's going to actually come down and visit us sometime in the next year, and is committed to doing that, and very appreciative of it. Jeff Comfer, also at Northern Illinois, as an athletic director for my last 2 years there, and Jeff really put me next to him on strategic plan. Was with him on hiring a women's basketball coach and several other head coaches in some of our Olympic sports, and really want to thank him. And at SMU, 3 guys through each of my tenure serving at athletic director at different times: Steve Orsini and Tim Leonard, who gave me my initial chance there to come back to SMU and be back in Texas where we belong. And then Rick Hart, who's the current AD there now, and can't thank them enough. And then also, finally, Kevin Anderson and Peter Weiler at the University of Maryland, 2 people with hearts of gold, good men, and gave me the opportunity to come in and completely rebuild an external program in a very, very short 14 months there. And now that we're back here as Lions, we're very, very excited to be here as Lions. It's a great day to be a Lion. I've been working on my chair. I finally got the finger bend. So I really want to thank everyone. I think time is the most precious commodity we have, and it's very selfish to waste it. So I thank you for coming by this afternoon. I'm very excited to be here. Look forward to meeting as many of you as can stick around, and we'll hit the ground running on back and forth a little bit next week. Got some consulting projects to wrap up, but we'll be here, hit the ground running Saturday morning the 10th, and we're here for good. Go Lions. I guess we'll open it for questions now. Hopefully no concerns yet, but just questions. It wasn't that good, people. Come on. Yes, sir. Yes, Coach. She so So actually, it's funny. I called her. She was very excited, and then she stopped and paused and said, "Oh, I'm going to Austin City Limits." Yeah. So she'll be here. She'll be here in navy and gold next week. And I guess whatever shirt's in one of those gift bags is probably what we'll be wearing first. So, looking forward to that. Great question, though. I need to also apologize to Coach Piper. I know his soccer team, they're on their way to beat Texas women's tonight. Vicky's alma mater, actually. We've got Lone Star ties in our family. Yeah, Vicky's a graduate of Texas women's, and my obviously being at Tarleton and me being a Lamar graduate. There's Lone Star footprints all throughout the family tree, so we're very excited about that. But in a very, very deep, detailed question, Coach Piper asked me my 3 favorite 80s movies. And I flubbed it on my interview, so I wanted to apologize to him, but he's not here. So that will be a head coach's meeting staff agenda item. We'll break down the best 80s movies when we get cranked up. So, anything else? I think, great question. As soon as engaging with Alicia and the committee, it's what I call, and also want to thank, and I'm glad you said that, Kurt Patberg. I didn't know Kurt at all, honestly, before this search started. He received my name from a couple of people that told some nice lies about me in referring me to the position, and I'm very appreciative of those people. And one of those people that actually referred me has been a friend of mine for 25 years, Tom Burnett, the commissioner of the Southland Conference. He and I were at a baseball game a couple of weeks ago, right after my interview here, and Tom's been a good friend for 25 years. We cut our teeth. He was the baseball student SID at La Tech when I was at Lamar, and Tom's always been very complimentary of this place. And one thing is I started to engage with the committee, and as I went through the flirting stage and the Skype interview and all of that, and now you start to really think it's going to be a serious relationship when you get invited to campus. And as soon as I heard Dr. Jones's vision, and frankly, as soon as I saw the itinerary and saw how many people care about this program, that again, you don't have apathy, you have emotion. And I'd rather, even some people that might have less than positive emotion about something, that's easier to flip than apathy, because apathy means you don't care. And I didn't see a lot of apathy here. And those 5 points from Dr. Jones's vision for what he sees for the program, we can make that happen. And there's very, very low-hanging fruit, because Ryan laid a foundation operationally, got some staff structure put in place that maybe wasn't there before, got some compliance and fiscal issues cleaned up. And now that next step is, where do we take the revenue generation? Because there's only so many seats in the football stadium, and there's only so many seats in the field house. There's only so much popcorn we can pop. There's only so many scholarships we can award, but there's no limit on the number of people we can ask to engage and invest in our program and our student athletes.